Hey everybody, welcome to my, well, believe it or not, another Raw review for last night's Monday Night Raw. And I have to say it was an alright Raw. I mean, it wasn't anything special. It was your average 2-hour Raw. It's kind of weird though, you had one 3-hour Raw last week for the King of the Ring. Next week, you're having the Slammy Awards 3-hour Raw. Then you have 2 hours again. It's weird. But anyway, I have to say Monday Night Raw was, like I say, it was okay. It wasn't the best. But we do gotta look at some of the highlights, and some of the highlights were pretty cool. Especially the top of the program, the best highlight I think anybody's been waiting to see. One of the top highlights, I'm pretty sure a lot of people put this as the #1 highlight of the night. Randy Orton RKO'ing Michael Cole. That's right, Michael Cole finally getting what many fans felt he deserved, getting RKO'd in the middle of the ring. Now the reason this happened, of course, is that Michael Cole, well, we started off Raw with just Lawler and Punk, and then Michael Cole came down the aisle and basically explained his actions, why he did what he did. Now Michael almost gave an apology, but then as he and Lawler were exchanging words, Michael, I guess, decided he's not going to give an apology, but tried to explain why he did what he did in another way. He basically tried to tell King, hey look, you and I are broadcast journalists. We're supposed to report the news, not make the news. And he points out that King wanted to make the news last week, so that if anybody owed Michael an apology, it was the King, because one, King wanted to be the news, not report it, and two, I guess King ruined them, wanted to take Miz's spotlight instead of letting them have it. So anyway, Lawler, you think, is about to go up there. Well, looks like he's about to go up there and basically finish the beating that he gave Michael Cole a week before. That is until the anonymous GM chimes in, and Punk is the one that actually reads the quote. And believe it or not, it's the first time ever that anybody getting up on that GM podium actually got a pop and it got cheered for. And of course, Punk kind of mockingly makes fun of Cole and how Cole makes the announcements. But basically, from what he read, the GM has told Lawler and Michael Cole that if there's any physicality between you guys, it will result in termination. And that you guys have to work together, and I want you to start by shaking hands. So Lawler does shake his hand, but says, agrees to no physicality, but tells him someone else might want to speak to him though. And out comes Randy Orton, and Randy goes on to basically tell Cole that, hey, I don't blame The Miz for what he did. I don't blame him because I would have done the same thing. This, of course, promptly brings out The Miz, and Miz basically tells Randy that, hey, I'm not going to give you a title shot tonight, but I do have to give you one at TLC, but in a match that I get to choose. So basically, long story short, it's during this kind of confrontation, if you will, that A-Rod says, hey look, he basically wants to prove to Randy that, hey, you're not better than The Miz, and hey, you're not better than me, I want you in a match. So that match is signed. And then this, throughout this whole confrontation, is what leads to Michael Cole getting RKO'd. Because Randy says, hey, bad leg or not, I could still do something better than anyone else. And Lawler literally, I guess, gently pushes him. Doesn't physically, like that. He just, does that. It's like a gentle push. And Michael Cole gets pushed right into an RKO. And both Lawler and Punk later on, as they come back from commercial break, try to put their own spin on what happened. So And believe it or not, Josh Matthews takes Michael Cole's place for the rest of the night. And I have to say, whether some people may agree with this or not, that Josh Matthews probably did a better job than Michael Cole. Probably did a better job. I'm not saying he did. But that was one of the highlights of the night. And then we had then we had a mixed tag, which we had a mixed tag with Daniel Bryan and one of the Bellas going against Maurice and Ted DiBiase. And of course, Ted DiBiase and Maurice lose the match due to switcheroo because of the Bellas. And we see more dissension with Maurice and DiBiase. Basically, this is showcasing us that maybe Maurice is more of a gold digger than, DiBiase wants to let off. So, what else happened? Oh yeah, we had more John Cena attacking the Nexus. We had more John Cena attacking the Nexus. Basically what happens is, we're supposed to have an exclusive interview with Wade Bell, right? Instead, we get it with David Otunga. David basically tells everybody that Wade's on his way to the arena. So anyway, we had the interview, and then after the interview, the camera's still rolling. The doorman with Otunga's food comes in. Otunga's not happy that it's not happy because it's cold. Basically pushes the busboy out. And then after he does that, we get another knock, and it's John Cena. John Cena basically coming in and beating down on Otunga, then beating down on Harris. Otunga gets out of there but leaves Harris behind. And he gets beat down by Cena. And then Cena leaves. So basically we got the Nexus throughout the night kind of concerned about what's going on. Anyway, one of the other highlights of the night though is we have new tag team champions. Yep, speaking of the Nexus. The Nexus members, the tag team champions themselves, Gabriel and Slater, were set to defend the tag team titles against the Usos, Tatsu and Henry, and Santino and Vladimir. And it was an okay four-way tag match. I don't know if anybody would agree with that, but it was an okay four-way tag match. Or four-team elimination tag match. And in the end, thanks to John Cena's distraction, actually coming out from under the ring, we have new tag team champions in Santino and Vladimir Kozlov, and it looks like Tamina may be on their side now. We're not really sure. But you know what? That might also lead us to a feud for the titles between the Usos and Kozlov and Santino. That may be pretty good. That might be good themselves. But that was a good highlight because I like Santino and Vladimir. They're good. They may be a comedic tag team, but hey, you gotta have a little bit of fun with the tag titles. So this might be the start of something. We might get something good out of this. Hey, you get to have them both on SmackDown as well. So we'll see what happens. Okay. Now, if I don't remember all the matches that took place last night, oh yeah, there is another match that did take place. Tyson Kidd and David Hart Smith, a rematch from Superstars. But the reason this match happened on Raw, this rematch happened, was to also introduce Jackson Andrews. That's right, Jackson Andrews as Tyson Kidd's bodyguard, I guess you could say. I guess WWE is going to try to push Tyson Kidd as the next Shawn Michaels or Brian Kendrick or something. But they have a decent match. Him and DH, and DH. I don't know what the suplex was called, but it was sort of like a delayed suplex that he performed on Tyson Kidd. That's right, a delayed suplex off the top rope or second rope or something like that. But it's because, I guess, of the distraction of the big guy, if you will, that Tyson Kidd gets the win, and basically leaves the ringside area, but David Hart Smith goes after him. This causes Jackson Andrews to attack David Hart Smith, and we kind of see a little bit of what he could do, but not much. So, anyway, what else? oh yeah, we have the match between Randy Orton. Oh yeah, we have Natalya taking on Molina in and to me, what was probably one of the better Diva matches I've seen on Monday Night Raw in a while, because these two actually wrestled. But the match was ruined not by interference, but by the commentary of LayCool. That's right, LayCool was invited there by Michael Cole to provide commentary, and then after Natalya causes Molina to tap out, and Molina actually tried to fight the sharpshooter, tried to fight not tapping, but she does eventually. LayCool comes in and attacks Natalya. Now they show Molina walking away, and you think, why would they do that? Is there something going on? We'll find out. Is something going on? Well, maybe we'll find out in the future. But they show her walking away. And LayCool basically beats down Natalya. So apparently we're going to get a LayCool-Natalya rematch at TLC. But I am praying and hoping it's a Fatal 4-Way Divas match, and it's a ladder match. Because when you think about it, a ladder match would definitely be historic for the Divas, and it would, in a way, storyline-wise, it would allow LayCool to try to prove if they could coexist when it comes over to what comes to being Divas champion and not a co-Divas champion. So I'm hoping they go in that direction. What else? Oh yeah, we had Randy Orton and Alex Riley. It was an okay match. Randy almost was on the... It was an okay match until Miz interfered when it looked like Randy was going to win the match. When Randy was going to win the match, Miz hits the Skull Crushing finale, and then basically shows the match that he and Randy are going to have at TLC, which will be a tables match. And just like when it looks like Miz is going to put Randy through the table, Randy reverses it and is about to power slam Miz through the table. But Miz gets away, but instead power bombs. But instead, Randy decides, okay, if I can't put you through the table, I'm going to put Riley through the table, and that's what he does, courtesy of a power bomb. Then we have our confrontation between then the main event of the night, or the main segment of the night. And hold on for a second while I check my time. Okay, still got about a minute and a half. But the main segment of the night, folks, was Wade Barrett calling out John Cena. Now they kind of have a back and forth deal. Nexus comes down to ringside, comes up to the ramp because Otunga wanted, because Barrett wanted Otunga to make sure they were ready. And basically we have a confrontation, vocal confrontation between Cena and Barrett. Basically Barrett telling Cena the same thing he said last week. You know, no matter what you do, no matter how many times you get to the Nexus, there's no way I'm going to rehire you. There's no way. And Cena, of course, says, Barrett, you know, and again, Cena basically has to tell him, look, Wade, it's not about me getting rehired, it's about me keeping my word to take you guys out. And I'll be back in a little bit with my second part to my review.